All right. Hello, join the club. I am so excited that we are here. You guys have no idea. I know you're not seeing this on a Saturday morning because this is our first Sunday podcast. Are you excited? I'm excited. And we have a young author as well. She is going to the 8th grade, and her name is Miss Amber Richardson. So join the club. I am so happy to have you here, but we have an advertisement first. Today's video is sponsored by the Joy Next Store. The Joy Nook Apparel offers merchandise to help you wear your affirmation for change. So make sure you check out the Shift Your Life and Shift to Better apparel. And make sure you check out A Conversation with Your Big Sister lines today, found in the description box below. So to tell you a little bit more about our author, her book is called Mariah Gets Bullied. And she's an 8th grade student from Baltimore, Maryland, and she's a first-time author of a children's book. This book is a no-holding-back story about bullying. Amber wants this book to be a catalyst to start important conversations between teachers and students, and also between parents and children on the topic of bullying. Amber was recently named the first-place winner of the Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship Young Entrepreneurial Challenge for the Baltimore region. Amber will be headed to New York in October to compete in nationals. She has also been featured on many podcasts, a national radio talk show, and her local news station. So, Miss Amber Richardson, I drop the mic to you.
Hi. So, Mariah Gets Bullied, like you said, is a no holding back bullying story. And in this book, we include a little bit of fighting, but it's not too harsh. We also include, well, the most important thing, we include talking points at the end for teachers, parents, and counselors. So, if your child is ever being bullied, they know who to talk to. And we also include red flags, like if your child isn't eating or if they don't want to go to school. But overall, Mariah Gets Bullied is a great bullying story to teach your child or other children who are bullying each other a great lesson.
Thank you so much for telling us about that. So, I'm going to show you guys the book cover just because one of my favorite things about the book cover is the illustrations of it. Do you guys see this? Look at the illustrations of it. The curly hair. You get I love it so much. So my first question for you is, were you ever bullied in high school? Not high school, middle school. You're in middle school. You were youngin.
Yeah.
You were youngin. You
Well,
were
I
bullied?
wasn't bullied, but my someone that I know was bullied, and I decided that it would be great to try to spark change because it really did hit close to home for someone that you know to be hurt like that. It really hurt me as well, and I thought it would be nice to do this, and it would maybe make her feel better and let her know that she isn't alone.
That it's nice to know that she's not alone. And even in the book. So let me tell you guys about this book. Mariah has a best friend. I think her name's Autumn, correct? And they are
Correct.
both getting bullied by two girls. And when it got really rough, Autumn moved away. So I know that was hard for Mariah because now she's alone. So, you never wanted your friend to feel alone, did you?
No. And I knew that if they felt alone, then it would maybe it would maybe cause them to push other people away. And I just didn't want that to happen.
I knew that I actually did get bullied in middle school as well. Ended up fighting, got suspended. There's my story. And I did feel alone. I didn't have nobody. So I'm glad that you could be that person for somebody. My next question: why choose to pursue writing at such a young age?
Well, I've always had a love for writing. I just never took it to the next level and used it to the best of my ability. But when I was in maybe fourth or fifth grade, it was a writing class, and the teacher was a very young intern. I think she was from Towson University. So she came to our school and she offered to give us a writing class. My grandmother decided to pay for it. And then at the end of the class, in order to pass it, you had to write a short story. So I wrote something close to this. it was still Mariah Gets Bullied, but it wasn't as detailed as it is now. And then, like 2 or 3 years later, we decided to actually publish it, and that's why we're here right now.
That's amazing. I only
Thank
found
you.
writing recently, and I'm kind of old. Not kind of old. I'm a junior in college. I'm kind of old.
Yeah.
Um, that's amazing that you found your passion so early and so lucky. How do you, knowing your passion so young and early, do you think that puts you at an advantage from other kids your age?
Yes, I think it puts me in an advantage and also a disadvantage because while I'm writing, I'll be doing things that people 2 years older than me should be doing. And it kind of does take away from my childhood because I have to go to meetings. I also have to be in New York while my friends will be at school doing children things. But I think at the end of the day, it's great that I'm starting my career this young.
It is great because you're making an impact on so many. You're making an
Yes.
impact on so many because bullying is still a real issue and it's actually becoming worse with this day and age. So, what was your process for deciding what type of bully you wanted in the book?
Well, I don't really know what caused me to choose Skylar or Bianca as one of the bullies. I just thought, well, my grandmother came up with the names and she thought they were like scary names for a bully or just bullying names in general. And for their looks, they look like regular children, but we gave them mad faces. So, like I said, I don't really know why they're drawn like that or illustrated like that. We just needed someone to put in the book.
Did you give any input on the pictures? Like, did they ever come back and you didn't like them?
Yes, they came back with Mariah and she looked totally different than how she looks now. And I decided that since my friend who was being bullied had curly hair, I decided to give Mariah curly hair. And at first, I think she had like just short, straight hair or something like that. And I knew that that isn't realistic for like a black character in a book. So I decided to do that.
It's nice that you thought about that. And speaking of your friend, when she saw that you written this book about bullying, how did she feel when you presented it to her?
She said thank you, and she hasn't been, excuse me, she isn't being bullied to, well, right now, but this maybe happened like 2 or 3 years ago, and she just said that she hopes it can change the world so kids don't have to go through what she went through.
And you're changing the world by being you who you are. Like I'm blown away by you. I
Thank
really
you.
reading your bio. You're about to go to. I am blown away. I want to go to New York. Can I come with you? I
Yes.
love New York so much. No, I'm blown away by you. You gotta give me a second because I'm first place in a competition. About to go to nationals. I'm blown away. You're only going to the eighth grade.
Yes.
Only to the eighth grade. So, are there more books in your future?
I don't know. We've thought about it, but we haven't made anything official yet. And I actually thought about starting a series, and it would be the same as Mariah Gets Bullied, but different reasons that a child would get bullied. So, like, maybe one wears glasses, one is bigger than the other, one has a disability. And Mariah got bullied because she's really smart, and that's a reason that some kids get bullied.
I love that. Well, since you got the book right near you, can you do all of us a favor and read some of it, please?
Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome. So, do you want me to start now?
Yeah, read all of it.
Okay. So, it was a hot Saturday morning when Mariah walked her dog Max in the park. The trees were in full bloom and she could hear the birds chirping. Never did Mariah imagine she would run into Bianca and Skylar, the school bullies. The, the bullies will always pick on smaller children, especially Mariah and Autumn, since they always received good grades and were small for their age. And Mariah was particularly protective over Autumn because they were best friends. Bianca was jealous of Mariah and Autumn since she could never get the same kind of attention they received from the teachers, at least good attention. This made her angry. She would pick on them every chance she could, and all Mariah wanted was to be left alone. Suddenly, Max barked at Bianca and Skylar. Bianca got upset and said, "Shut up, dog." Then she kicked Max and he fell over. At the same time, Skylar grabbed Mariah and threw her to the ground and started to hit her. Max saw Mariah in trouble and bit Skylar's leg. Bianca quickly grabbed Skylar's arm and helped her. Max and Mariah ran away. When Mariah looked back, Bianca and Skylar were chasing her. But she and Max were too fast for the bullies and ran safely all the way home. They burst through the front door. Mariah peeped out of the window to see if Skylar and Bianca were outside. Miss Jackson, Mariah's mom, turned in surprise. She asked, "Mariah, what's wrong?" "Ma, I have to tell you something," Mariah said, breathing hard. "Baby, what is it?" "Ma, I've been getting picked on at school, and I just saw them, and they started a fight with me at the park." Tears ran down Mariah's face. "Why didn't you tell me this before?" Miss Jackson asked, pulling Mariah close and wiping her eyes. "I was afraid, and I didn't know what to do." "Baby, let me tell you something. It's never okay for people to put their hands on you," said Mrs. Jackson. "And getting bullied is never your fault. Do you understand?" "Yes, ma'am." "It is my job to protect you, and you should never feel ashamed or be scared to tell me anything, okay?" Miss Jackson held Mariah's hand. "Yes, ma'am." "Who are these bullies?" "Bianca and Skylar," Mariah whispered softly. "How long has it been going on?" "For about a month." "Did you tell your teacher?" "No, ma'am." "Listen, baby, you should always tell an adult you can trust when something isn't right. When you go to school, let your teacher know what's going on. If that doesn't help, I'll go to school." Mrs. Jackson also told Mariah to try telling them, "Stop, leave me alone." "But I tried that and it didn't work. I even tried walking away," Mariah pointed out. "Baby, we're going to get you through this, but there's one thing I want you to promise me. You will never cry in front of them. If you do, they'll feel like they're winning. So promise me you won't." "Okay, Ma, I promise. And remember, don't show those bullies any fear." "Okay. Now give me a hug, baby." Her mom grabbed her and said, "I love you." Mariah was feeling better now. Skylar and Bianca wouldn't let the incident go. On Monday at school, they saw Mariah in the hallway and shoved her against the lockers as they passed by, then kept walking. Mariah clenched her fist as she watched them walk away. She knew she needed to tell the teacher like her mom told her to. She quickly ran to Mrs. Waters' room before the class came and knocked on the door. Mrs. Waters opened it and asked, "Mariah, what are you doing here so early?" "Miss Waters, Bianca and Skylar are picking on me and Autumn, and they won't stop." "What do you mean picking on you? What are they doing?" "They keep pushing us and taking our lunch money. They just pushed me against the locker, and my mom told me to tell you when they did it again." "Oh my goodness," Miss Waters said, shaking her head. "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" "Because I was afraid." "Never be afraid to come to me, and don't worry, I'll look into it. Let me know if it happens again." "Okay," Mariah agreed. "It's time for class now. Your classmates will be here in a few seconds. Take your seat." Mariah went to her seat as her classmates entered the room. Bianca and Skylar came in last, staring at Mariah. Miss Waters saw them starting. Oh, excuse me. Miss Waters saw them staring, but didn't say anything. Later at lunch, Bianca tripped Mariah while they were in lunch line. Then she snatched Mariah and Autumn's money right out of their hands. Mariah was still scared, but still, she bravely pushed Bianca's arm away and said, "Stop." All of a sudden, Bianca punched Mariah in the face hard and they rolled around on the floor, but Mariah didn't fight back. The kids in the cafeteria heard commotion and surrounded them to watch Mariah get beaten up. Autumn ran to the principal. Minutes later, the principal and another teacher rushed in to break up the fight. The teacher pulled them from the floor, took them to the principal's office, and called their parents. Skylar and Bianca were suspended from school for 5 days, but after school, Bianca was still being a troublemaker. She threatened Mariah again. Mrs. Jackson, Mariah's mom, had enough. Later in the week, she went to the school about Mariah getting bullied. Mrs. Jackson wanted answers from the principal. After a long conversation, the principal agreed the bullying was a problem and that she would handle the issues with Bianca, Skylar, and each of the girls' parents. Mariah's mom left the school feeling she wouldn't have to worry about the bullying anymore. The following Monday, when Mariah went to school, she ran into Skylar and Bianca. Their suspension was over. They kept staring at Mariah, and Skylar warned her to watch her back. Scared for her daughter, Autumn's mother transferred her to another school so she could stop being bullied. Now Mariah was left all alone because all the kids in the school were afraid of the bullies, Skylar and Bianca. After school, Skylar and Bianca approached Mariah on the playground, pushing her back and forth between them. Realizing it was a fight. Sorry.
Someone is at the front door.
Realizing it was a fight, all the children ran over to watch, but this time Mariah fought back. She was tired and knew the bullying wouldn't stop unless she took a stand. With all of her might, Mariah punched Bianca in the face, and Bianca immediately grabbed her jaw because it hurt so bad. Mariah then kicked Skylar in the stomach so hard that Skylar dropped to the ground, clutching her midsection in pain. Bianca came back charging, but Mariah grabbed her. Then Mariah pulled her hair and they both fell down. She found the strength to get on top of Bianca and started hitting her. Seeing that Mariah was fighting back, Skylar was afraid to help. While Mariah was winning the fight, all the kids roared and chanted, "Go Mariah, go!" Skylar just watched. All of a sudden, Bianca cried out, "Stop, please let me up." Tears poured from her eyes. "I'm sorry, I'm sorry," she said as she wiped the tears from her face. Mariah looked Bianca in the eyes and asked, "Do you promise to leave me and all of the other kids you bully alone?" "Yes, I promise," Bianca answered. Mariah finally let her up. Feeling embarrassed, Bianca covered her black eye and slowly walked away with her head down. Skylar followed behind her, still holding her stomach. All the kids cheered. From that day forward, no one was ever afraid of Skylar and Bianca. Well, no one was afraid of Skylar and Bianca, and Mariah became the most popular girl in school. Things were back to normal, and nobody feared the school bullies anymore. Mariah and all of the kids learned bullying is wrong, and that you have to tell someone about it when it happens. And sometimes you may even have to fight back for it to stop because some bullies aren't as strong as they seem, aren't as tough as they seem. The end. Then there's just some facts about me, and there's talking points and questions for teachers, parents, and counselors.
Now, I don't know about y'all, but I love when there's extra stuff in a book, okay? I love the questions to like talk about with parents and students and teachers. I love extra stuff in book. It's like a little treat. But y'all see why I am so blown away by this amazing young woman right here. That is everything I aspired to be when I was at 8th grade. I still aspire to be that because she is making money moves right now. I'm telling you, I'm going to read this book to my little sister because she loves curly haired little girls. She loves books and she loves to be inspired. And this book will inspire her. I'm going to read it. You guys should make sure you buy it as well for your little girls. Let me take my moment again because I'm so blown away by this story. I loved reading this story so much. Okay, had my moment. I'm good. Are you good?
Okay. Yes.
You okay, now I have a few questions about your writing competitions because that's something we don't just ignore. Are you like what exactly did you do in this competition that you just won?
So it was an entrepreneur competition, and I basically entered my book. I entered that in since it is my own small business type of thing. And I don't know if I said this, but I started this whole business in October. Yeah, I don't think I said that. I started it in October, and the competition also started in October. So basically, all I had to do was make a slideshow about my book and how I market it, how much it costs to buy it, and everything that goes into making it, and just some facts about me. And I won the competition and I won $1,500. And I'm also going to New York
What do
for
you
free.
plan to for free?
Sorry.
Who will get that money, girl, for free? No, you're good. You're good. What do you plan to do with the 1,500 that you won?
So the money that we make off the book, it goes to me and my grandmother. We both split it, and my grandmother is using her money to pay off the book because she did pay for like everything that went into it. So she said that I could keep the 1,500 and just spend it on whatever I wanted, since she's keeping like the money that we make from the book. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet. I think that, oh, I also just got it recently, by the way. I think that I'm gonna use it for school to get my school supplies and just get stuff that I need for school.
You are such an inspiration to people. Do you know that? Do you
No.
know that? What? I don't know another eighth grader that thinks like this. You're gonna give your school supplies. That is amazing. No, that's amazing. So, will you be going back to school in person? Because we live in a pandemic.
I think that we're going back because when I was still in seventh at the end of the year, so April to June, we went back. So I think we're going to go back. I'm not fully aware yet, but I think so.
Are you excited to go back?
Yes, I miss my friends and I just miss being in public and seeing people that I know.
me too. I'm going back for the first time. I didn't go to college at all year. I was all home. I'm so excited. So I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. Now, it was so happy to have you on this show. It was so happy.
Thank
I was
you.
so happy to have you here. Now, can you let all of our readers and listeners know where they can purchase your book for me, please?
Yes, you can purchase my book Mariah Gets Bullied on Amazon. And if it doesn't come up, just type in Amber Richardson at the end. And also, we are about to get our own website. So if you don't want to purchase it off of Amazon, we'll give you like details to get it from the website, but not yet.
I know. I follow you on Instagram. I was like, oh, she got merchandise. She about to get a new website. I am so excited. So don't go grabbing your pin for that link at the bottom. It'll be in the description box. You guys know this. So, Amber, I'm so happy that you decided to join us. Join the club. I leave you with this quote by John Lewis. You cannot be afraid to speak up and speak out for what you believe. You have to have courage. You have to have courage. And that's by John Lewis. Mariah had courage to speak up and do something about those bullies. You guys need to speak up in your everyday lives. So join a club. It's been real. Thank you, Amber. Deuces.
Deuces.